Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, picture this. It's that highly relatable end of the month moment. You open up your banking app, and the balance staring back at you is, well, shockingly low. And the absolute strangest part, you literally can't explain where the money went. I mean, you didn't buy a new car, you definitely didn't take some lavish luxury vacation, zero major irresponsible purchases. It was just small stuff, food here, a couple subscriptions there, maybe a few late night impulse buys online. But somehow, those tiny little things quietly drain hundreds of dollars right out of your account.
So naturally, you're sitting there asking yourself, where on earth did the money actually go? Now, before you listen to people online who just brush it off with, oh, just budget better, or just save more, or the classic, just make more money, we are going to completely debunk the myth that building wealth requires a massive income. Because the reality, most financial problems aren't caused by one gigantic, dramatic mistake. They are caused by small money habits repeated over and over again. So today, we're solving this missing money mystery by breaking down these 7 small, repeated habits that are quietly draining your wealth and exactly how you can fix them.
All right, let's dive right into section 1, plug in your hidden leaks. Starting off with mistake number 1. Most people assume they have a pretty solid grip on their spending, but research from the Federal Reserve shows a completely different story. We actually chronically underestimate our discretionary spending, often by hundreds of dollars a month. And why? Well, because small purchases just don't feel like a big deal in the heat of the moment. Just take a look at these numbers. A $12 lunch, an $8 coffee, a $25 monthly subscription. Individually, they seem totally harmless, right? But spending just $15 a day mathematically stacks up insanely fast. That one small daily habit equals about $450 a month, which ultimately stacks up to a massive $5,400 a year. The financial leak isn't a sudden flood. It's a slow, steady drip. Now, what is absolutely fascinating here is the incredible opportunity cost of that daily drip. If that exact same $5,400 were invested annually at a standard 8% return, it doesn't just sit there doing nothing. After 20 years, it explodes into a staggering $250,000. It's wild to think about. Financial problems so often start with just a basic lack of awareness, not a lack of income. So the quick fix here is super simple. Just track your spending for 7 days to spot those hidden patterns you didn't even know existed. And that brings us right to mistake number 2, lifestyle inflation. There is something truly fascinating about human psychology going on here. A Bureau of Labor Statistics study actually proves that as our income rises, our consumer spending tends to increase almost proportionally. Basically, this means people earn more money, but they never actually feel any richer. Think about it. If you get a raise from $3,000 to $4,000 a month, but you immediately upgrade your apartment, get a nicer car, and start eating out at fancier places to match it, your financial situation looks exactly the same, just with slightly bigger numbers on the screen. The real solution? When your income increases, you've got to increase your saving rate first, not your lifestyle. Let's move right along to section 2, debt, time, and emergencies. Here we're exploring the absolute biggest wealth destroyers alongside the massive, massive advantage of time. So the crucial point here is avoiding mistake number 3, relying on credit cards for normal, everyday expenses. Look, credit cards themselves aren't inherently evil, but the US average interest rate is now sitting at over 20%. Holding a $5,000 balance at that rate is essentially what we can call reverse investing. Instead of the magic of compounding working for you, it's working aggressively against you. Just think about it. If investing at 8% builds your wealth slowly, carrying debt at 20% destroys your wealth incredibly fast. You absolutely must stop using credit for purchases that you can't pay off by the end of the month. And speaking of time, mistake number 4 is waiting too long to start investing. Honestly, this might just be the single most expensive mistake of all, simply because investing heavily rewards time over effort. Just look at person A and person B. Both of them invest $200 a month, right? Both get the exact same 8% return. But person A starts at age 25, while person B waits until they're 35. By age 65, person A has roughly $700,000, while person B has only $300,000. A mere 10 years of hesitation literally costs person B $400,000. No joke, time is absolutely your greatest asset. But to protect that beautiful investment growth from life's totally unpredictable moments, you've got to avoid mistake number 5, having no emergency fund. Because let's be real, life happens. Cars break down, jobs change, random medical bills just appear out of thin air. A Bankrate report actually shows that struggling to cover even a basic $1,000 emergency often pushes people right back into high-interest credit card debt. That debt creates massive interest, and that interest creates long-term financial stress. Your very first goal shouldn't even be some massive, overwhelming nest egg. Just start with a simple $1,000 cash buffer to protect your foundation. Now that we've identified those major wealth destroyers, let's explore Section 3, Building Systems That Work, where we'll cover mistakes 6 and 7 to see how a basic financial structure can completely change the game. Mistake number 6 is falling for what is probably the biggest wealth myth out there, the idea that saving a measly $50 a month won't change anything. Well, doing the math tells a totally different story. $50 a month at an 8% return grows to roughly $70,000 over 30 years. I mean, that is definitely not nothing. And if you just bump that up to $200 a month, you are looking at nearly $300,000 over time. Wealth is so rarely built through massive one-time lucky decisions. It's built through small, boring, consistent behaviors. Which naturally brings us to mistake number 7, chaotic money management. Without a clear system, bills just appear randomly. Your spending becomes highly emotional, and saving gets completely inconsistent. It's honestly like trying to get healthy without a meal plan or an exercise routine. It just doesn't work. But implementing a simple system like the famous 50-30-20 rule completely removes the decision fatigue out of your finances. You simply allocate 50% to your actual needs, 30% to your wants, and 20% to your savings. Boom. It provides immediate, stress-free clarity. But to make that system truly foolproof, you absolutely need automation. Automation is incredibly powerful because it basically acts as your personal financial guardrail. Think about it. As soon as your paycheck arrives, the savings transfer happens automatically, behind the scenes, and you only spend what remains. It completely removes the need for constant willpower, ensuring that your long-term financial priorities are funded before you ever even have the chance to spend that money on impulse buys. All right, finally, let's wrap things up with Section 4, Small Choices, Massive Wealth. We have definitely covered a lot of ground today. And hey, if you're recognizing several of these mistakes in your own life right now, don't panic. Seriously, trying to change your entire financial life in one single day almost always backfires anyway. Studies of actual millionaires consistently prove that massive wealth comes from these reliable, everyday financial habits, not giant incomes. So the key here is to simply pick one low-friction step to create some momentum this week. Just one. You could track your spending for 7 days. You could start a small emergency fund. You could set up just one automatic savings transfer. Or you can make a plan to pay down a single credit card balance. Small improvements create momentum, and momentum creates lasting financial change. As we close out this explainer, I really want to leave you with a final provocative thought to help you reflect on your own daily habits. Take a close look at your routine. Which of these 7 small choices is quietly affecting your financial future the most right now? Identify it, take that one small step to fix it this week,